Cyropedia, Book 1, Section 1. Cyrus remained there for a while with his army and showed that they were ready to do battle if anyone should come out. But as no one did come out against him, he withdrew as far as he thought proper and encamped. And when he had stationed his outposts and sent out his scouts, he called together his own men, took his place in their midst, and addressed them as follows. Minas de Okiros, metrion chronon of 2, sinto stratevmati, ke dilosis, oti etimisin machista, etis exercito, os udis anexii, abigon oson edochi, kolosechi, ke stratopedevsito, philakos, the katastisamenos, ke scopus, propempsos, stas istomeson, synecarlisa, tous f2, stratiotos, ke elixen tiada. Fellow citizens of Persia, first of all I praise the gods with all my soul, and so I believe, do all of you. For we not only have won a victory, but our lives have been spared. We ought therefore to render to the gods thank offerings of whatsoever we have. And I here and now commend you as a body, for you have all contributed to this glorious achievement. But as for the deserts of each of you individually, I shall try by word and deed to give every man his due reward, when I have ascertained from proper sources what credit each one deserves. But as to the captain Chrysandus, who fought next to me, I have no need to make enquiry of others, for I myself know how gallant his conduct was. And everything else he did just as I think all of you also did. But when I gave the word to retreat and called to him by name, even though he had his sword raised to smite down an enemy, he obeyed me at once and refrained from what he was on the point of doing, and proceeded to carry out my order. Not only did he himself retreat, but he also, with instant promptness, passed the word on to the others. And so he succeeded in getting his division out of range before the enemy discovered that we were retreating, or drew their bows, or let fly their javelins. And thus by his obedience he is unharmed himself, and he has kept his men unharmed. But others, said he, I see wounded, and when I have inquired at what time of the engagement they received their wounds, I will then express my opinion concerning them. But Chrysandus, as a mighty man of war, prudent and fitted to command and to obey, him I now promote to a colonelship. And when God shall vouchsafe some further blessing, then too I shall not forget him. Andres Perse, proton men tu staus, ego epeno oson ziname. Ke emis the pandas ime. Nikis tegar tetihikamen. Ke soterias. Two-tone men uncri charisteria on echomen tis theis apotilin. Ego the simbaras. Men imas the epino. Togar geganimenon ergon sympasin. Imin kalos apoteteliste. On the ekastos axios. Epithon par on prosiki. Pithome. Tota tin axion escato ke logo ke ergo pirasame apodidona. Ton the imu gitata taxiarchon chrysandon udena alon theome Pinthanasta, ala avtos ida eocene. Tamengar ala osper ime ke pandas emis epiita. Epida ego par ingisa epenangin kalasas of tone onomasti anatita menos utos tin machiron os peson polemion epicusete me aphis te oemelepien to calavomenon epitine eproctine Avtos tegar epininga ketis alis mala episperkos parigia ost emphasen exo velon tin toxin piesas prin tus polemius catanoisa oti anacorumen ketoxa and dinas the catapulta epifena. Ostav tos te avlavis ketus of two andros avlavis dia to pieces parekata. Alus defi oro tetromenus peri un ego skipsamenos en opio chrono trothison tota tin gnomin periafton apophenuma chrysondon the os ke ergatin tonin polemo ke phronimon ke archista ikonon ke archin heli archia mani timo otan the ke alo tiagathon otha osto u the tota p lisame of 2. 5. I wish also to leave this thought with all of you, he went on. Never cease to bear in mind what you have just seen in this battle today, so that you may always judge in your hearts whether courage is more likely to save men's life than running away, and whether it is easier for those to withdraw who wish to fight than for those who are unwilling, and what sort of pleasure victory brings. For you can best judge of these matters now when you have experience of them, and while the event is so recent of an occurrence. And if you should always keep this in mind, you will be more valiant men. Penda. Que pandas the vulame imas, efi, ipomnisa, agarnin ithete, enti machitida, tafta enthimumini, mipote pavasta, ina parimin of tis, ai crinata, poteron, arati malon, ifigi sozi tas picas, ke poteron, imachista ethelandes, araon, apal latusin, iugathalandes. Ke pian tina ithonin toni kan paraki tafta garnin arista krinet on piran tefton ekondes ke arti gegenimenu tu pragmatos ke tafta men efi ai via naumeni veltius on ite. Now go to dinner as men, beloved of God, and brave and wise. Pour libations to the gods, raise the song of victory, and at the same time, be on the lookout for orders that may come. Ninda os Theophilis, ke agathi, ke sophrondes, andres dipno piiste, ke spondastis theis piiste, ke peana exarchista, ke ama to parangelomenon pronoita. 7. When he had thus spoken, he mounted his horse and rode away to Cyaxares. They exchanged congratulations as was fitting, and after Cyrus had taken note of matters there and asked if there were anything else he could do, he rode back to his own army. Then he and his followers dined, stationed their pickets duly, and went to rest. Epta. Epon the tafta on vas, epiton epon elasa ke pros kioxarin elthon, ke sinis this, ekino ki ni os ecos, ke idon taki, ke romanos et theito, abilavnon is to of to strativma. Ke emen the amphichiron, deepno p samani, ke philakaz katasti samani, os ethi ekimithisan. Number 8. The Assyrians, on the other hand, inasmuch as they had lost their general, and with him nearly all their best men, were all disheartened, and many of them even ran away from the camp in the course of the night. And when Croesus and the rest of their allies saw this, they too lost heart, for the whole station was desperate. But what caused the greatest despondency in all was the fact, excuse me, for the whole situation was desperate. What caused the greatest despondency in all was the fact that the leading contingent of the army had become thoroughly demoralized. Thus dispirited, then they quitted their camp and departed under cover of the night. And when it became day and the enemy's camp was found to be forsaken of men, Cyrus at once led his Persians first across the entrenchments, and many sheep and many cattle and many wagons packed full of goods had been left behind by the enemy. Directly after this, Cyaxares also and all the Medes crossed over and had breakfast there. And when they had breakfasted, Cyrus called together his captains and spoke as follows. Octo. Ida Assyrii, Atake Tethnikotos, to Archondos, ke Skedon Sinafto Toveltiston, Ethemun men Pondas, Politha ke Apathidroskon of Ton Tisniktos Ectu Stratopethu, Orondas the Tafta O Tekrisos, ke Ali Simakiaf Ton Ethemun, Pondemengar in Halapa, Athimian the Pleistine, Paricha Pasin, Oti to Igumenon T Stratias, Philon the Ephtherto, Tas Gnomas, Uto the Ek Liptusi, To Stratopedon, Ke Perconda Tisnictos. Ose Imerigenito, Ke Erimon Andron, Ephani, To ton polemion stratopedon, Ephthes dia vivazi, Okiros, tus persis protus, Catalelipto, the ipoto polemion, Polamen provata, Pola the voes, Pola the omixa, Polon agathon miste. Ecthatuto, the avenon idi ke iamphix exarin midi pandas ke iri stopiunda and davtha. Epi the iristisan sinacalasan okiros tus of two toxiarchus ke alexetiada. What good things, fellow soldiers, and how great have we let slip, it seems, while the gods were delivering them into our hands. Why you see with your own eyes that the enemy have run away from us, when people behind fortifications abandon them and flee? How would anyone expect them to stand and fight if they met us in a fair and open field? And if they did not stand their ground when they were yet unacquainted with us, how would they withstand us now when they have been defeated and have suffered heavy loss at our hands? And when their bravest men have been slain, how would their more cowardly be willing to fight us? Iami the Kumen, Keos Agatha, O Andres. Fenina, the own Imon of Ta the London. Ningar, Oti Ipolemi Imas, Apo the Drakasin of T Orata. Itinas the en Erimati, Ondas, Eklipondas, Tuto Fevgusi. Post on tis tutus, eat on mina, idondas, imas, into, isopedo. Itinas the imon, apiri ondas, ipeminan, postningan, ipominian, epi, itinde, te, ke, pola, kaka, if imon, peponthasin. On the eveltisti apololasi pos e pony rotary akinon makasta on emin athelion. Why not pursue them as swiftly as possible, said one of the men, now that the good things we have let slip are so manifest to us? Ketis ipe ti un the okamen ostakista. Kata thilon ge uto ton agathon ondon. Because, he replied, we have not horses enough for the best of the enemy. Those whom it were most desirable either to capture or to kill are riding off on horseback. With the help of the gods, we were able to put them to flight, but we are not able to pursue and to overtake them. Chaos epon, oti epon, prostheomatha. Emengar kratisti ton polemion, o usmalista keros in ilavin ikatakanin, uti af epon o hunda us emis trepasta men sin tis the is ikani, the okondes the arin uk ikani. Then why do you not go and tell Xaxares this, said they. Ti unaphasin uk elthon Xaxari legis tafta. Come with me then, all of you, he answered, so that he may know that we are all in agreement upon this point. Keos ipe sin apasta tinin mi pandas, os idi oti passing emin tafta the key. Thereupon they all followed and submitted such arguments as they thought calculated to gain their object. Ektutu epondota pandas, kealagon epitidia thokun ina iperon signomi theondo. Now Xaxares seemed to feel some little jealousy because the proposal came from them. At the same time, perhaps he did not care to risk another engagement. Then, too, he rather wished to stay where he was, for it happened that he was busily engaged in making merry himself, and he saw that many of the other Medes were doing the same. Keo Kiexaris ama men oti akini irkon tu logu osper epifloni. Keisus kolosekin, Adoki of To, Mi Pauline Keen the Nevin, Kegar of Tos, Te Peri Simeon, Etinkenen, On Keton, Alon Midon, Eora Polus To of To, Piundas, Ipedaun Oda. Well, Cyrus, I know from what I see and hear that you Persians are more careful than other people not to incline to the least intemperance in any kind of pleasure. But it seems to me that it is much better to be moderate in the greatest pleasure than to be moderate in less pleasures. And what brings to man greater pleasure than success, such as has now been granted to us? All okira, otimen ton alon malon anthropon, melitate, emis e perse midepros mian idonin a plistos. Diakiste, ke oron, ke akuon ida, and me dedoki, tis megistis idonis, polymalistus simferin, enkratiina. Miso the idonin ti poreki anthropis eftichias ininimin para gagenite. 15. If therefore, when we were successful, we follow up our success with moderation, we might perhaps be able to grow in happiness unalloyed with danger. But if we enjoy it intemperately and try to pursue first one success, then another, see to it that we do not share the same fate that they say many have suffered upon the sea. That is, because of their success, they have not been willing to give up seafaring. And so they have been lost. And many others, when they have gained a victory, have aimed at another, and so have lost even what they have gained first. And this is 16 now. And that is the way with us. For if we were, because they were inferior to us in number, that the enemy were fleeing from us, perhaps it might be safer for us actually to pursue this lesser enemy. But as it is, reflect with what a mere fraction of their numbers we, with all our force, have fought and won, while the rest of theirs have not tasted of battle. And if we do not compel them to fight, they will remain unacquainted with our strength and with our own, and they will go away because of their ignorance and cowardice. But if they discover that they are in no less danger if they go away than if they remain in the field, beware lest we compel them to be valiant against their will. And let me assure you that you are not more eager to capture their women and children than they are to save them. And bethink you that even wild swine flee with their young when they are discovered, no matter how great their numbers may be. And if anyone tries to catch one of the young, the old one, even if she happens to be the only one, does not think of flight, but rushes upon the man who is trying to effect the capture. And now, when they had shut themselves up in their fortifications, they allowed us to manage things so as to fight as many at a time as we please. But if we go against them in an open plain, and they learn to meet us in separate detachments, some in front of us, as even now is, some on the other flank, and some in our rear, see to it that we do not each one of us stand in need of many hands and many eyes. And besides, said he, now that I see the Medes make merry, I should not like to root them out and compel them to go into danger. Decapende. In men tinin epi ev tikumen. Sophronos theophilatomen of teen, isos dynameth on akindios, evdemonundas giron. Either aplistos chromani taftialin, kaolin pyrosomatha, the okin orata mi pathomen a per polus men legusi in thalati pepon thena. Diato evtihin ukathelonda pafsista pleondas apolesta. Polus thenikis tichondas eteras ephiamenus ketin prosten apavalin. Hagar imen e polemi itus ondas imon ethevgon isusan ke theokin tus itus asphalosica. Nin the katanoison posto meri of ton pondas makasamenos makasamenis, nenikisamen. Either ali amakisin. Us Emen mi anakasamen makasta agnoundas ke mas ke aftus the amathian ke malakian piasin either gnosonda otia piondas uthen eton ki dinavusin imenundas opos mi an Consumen of tus con min vulenda agathus ganesta. Thekapta. Isti gar oti usi malon tosakinon ginekas ketas pedas ketus pedas lavin epithemis iakini sosa. And Noe, the OTKACS epidon ophthosi, fevgusi, con poleosi, sin tis technis. Epidon the tis afton, thera ti ton technon, ukati fevgi, the uth in mia tihi usa, al iete epiton lamvanin pyromenon. Ke nin men cataclisandas avtus is erima pareskon imin tamievista osta apostis. Avalomatha of tone makastha either an evri horian prosimen of tis kimathisanda choris genomini emen cataprosopon emin osper ke nin and endiusista. Either uk plagiu, either ke opistan ora mi polon acasto imon chiron theisi ke ophthalmon. Proseti the un signomi proseti the udon ethelimi afi agonin oron Midus evthemimumenus exanastesis anankazin kindinevsondas yena. 19. Nay, said Cyrus in reply, please do not place anybody under compulsion, but allow those who will volunteer to follow me. And perhaps we may come back bringing to you and each of your friends here something for you all to make merry with. For the main body of the enemy, we certainly shall not even pursue. For how could we ever overtake them? But if we find any detachment of their army straggling or left behind, we shall bring them to you. And remember, he added, that we also, when you ask us, came a long journey to do you a favor, and it is therefore only fair that you should do for us a favor in return, so that we may not have to go home empty-handed, nor always be looking to your treasury here for support. Vekenya. Keokiros ipalavon ipen ala singemethana anankasis ala tusathalon dasmi epistedos. Ke isosan si. Ke ton son philon tuton ekimen ecasto agondes. F isapendes epthemisista. Tomen gar plethos emis geton polemion uthe dioxometha. Postgar on ke catalavimen. In the te opiskis menon to stratevmatos lavomen et epolipomenon. Ixamen pro se agondes. And no ive efi otk emis apc eveu. Ilthomen si charizomeni macron odon. Ke si un emin dikeos iandi charizosda ina ke echundesti ikaz aficometho. Ke mi iston son disavron pandas roman. 21. Very well, said Cyaxares then. If indeed anyone will volunteer to follow you, I, for my part, should be really grateful for you. And after the Alexen Okiaxares, all iga mendi ethelon tis epito ke harin egogesi eviin on. Well then, said he, send with me someone of these notables in positions of trust to announce your commands. Simpepson tinin me tina efi ton axiopiston tutoni os arion si apistiles. 22. Okay, not 22 yet. Take any of them you wish, said the other, and go. Lavon the Ethi, Effie, Oninus Athelis to Toni. 22. It happened that the man who had once pretended to be a kinsman of his and had got a kiss from him was present there. Cyrus therefore said to him at once, this man will do. Enter the Attica Poron Ophisus Potas Inganis of To, Ina K Philly Thes, part of 2. F Thes Uno Kyros Eben Archemia the Tosusi. Let him follow you then, said Cyaxares, and do you, he added to Artabazus, say whatever will may go with Cyrus. And you do you say that whoever will may go with Cyrus. Uto the lavone ton andra exii. Epi the exilthon o kiros epen nin the si the lostis e alithi elegas otiafis edis the theomenos eme. Okay, I skipped a line. Utos tinin si epesto, ke legacy efi tonathelonde yena meta kiru. So then he took the man and went away. And when they had come to Cyrus, and when they'd come out, Cyrus said, "Now then you shall prove if you spoke the truth when you said that you liked to look at me. Uto the lavon ton andraxii epi the xilthon ocursipen. Nin the si the losis, ilithialigas, oti ephis, edus the theomenos amat." "If you talk that way," said the Mede, "I shall never leave you. Uk un apolypsime gesu ephio midos e tutu legis." "Will you do your best, then, to bring others also with you?" asked Cyrus. "O Kyros Epon, uk un ke alus pro themos exaxis." "Yes, by Zeus," he answered, "with an oath to such an extent that I shall make you also glad to look at me. Epamosus un ekinos, niton thee, Effie, estige on piiso, que se emet those theasta. 24. Then, as he had commissioned from Cyaxares, also he not only gave his message to the Medes with enthusiasm, but he added that for his part he himself would never leave the noblest and best of men, and what was more than all, a man descended from the gods. Tota the ke ekpemphis ipo tuxixaru ta te ala prothemos apingala tis midis ke prosetithi otiaftos ge uk apolypsto andros kalistu ke aristu ke tomegiston apotonthaon gegonondos. That is the end of section 1, and we will begin section 2 next time.